the old man suddenly realized that the colt about to be auctioned off might be an exceptionally rare steed. So he didn't hesitate to place a bid of 1 guinea. He thought no one would compete with him, but his nemesis immediately raised the price fivefold, unwilling to back down. The old man raised his offer to 8 guineas. His rival responded with yet another bid, and just like that the two of them were locked in a bidding war. In the end the rival offered a staggering 25 guineas. Neighbors urged the old man to give up, reminding him that he was merely a tenant on his rival's land. How could he possibly compete? But the stubborn old man pulled out all his savings, and shouted a final bid of 30 guineas with no one else bidding. Seeing the old man about to go bankrupt over a horse, his rival broke into a wicked grin, because he knew very well the horse was worth no more than 10 guineas. A friend had already warned him that this frail little colt was useless for plowing fields. Only then did the old man realize he'd walked right into his rival's trap. But at this point, all he could do was grit his teeth and take the horse home. And his rival, smug in his role as the landowner, reminded him that rent was due in just a few days. But what no one knew was the legendary story of this horse was only just beginning. When the wife found out her husband had spent all their savings on a horse that couldn't even plow, she was furious. She knew her husband had an injured leg and couldn't possibly train the colt, so she demanded he return it to the auction house immediately. But their son Bert stepped in and stopped her. He saw something special in the colt's spirit, and he believed that with enough effort, the horse would prove its worth. After much pleading from both father and son, the mother reluctantly agreed to keep the horse for now, but she made one thing clear: if the horse couldn't be trained within a month, it had to be sold. But this horse had a wild nature from birth. No matter what Bert tried, he couldn't get close. To tame it, he would need patience and wisdom, so he turned his back and slowly approached, gently speaking to comfort it along the way. And the method worked. Bert's soft, careful movements helped the horse lower its guard. Bert was stunned that the horse seemed to understand human speech. He named it Joey, and that name seemed to give the colt a new sense of purpose. Every morning after feeding it hay, Bert would lead Joey on walks around the yard. Then the real training would begin. He took Joey to the top of a hill and used voice commands to tell him to stay still. But the moment Bert turned to walk away, Joey followed him. So Bert patiently taught him how to stay back. To his surprise, the horse learned incredibly fast. After just 2 sessions, Joey could stand still without moving an inch. Bert then backed away and blew a whistle, signaling for Joey to come to him. But Joey didn't seem to understand at first. He just stood there confused. Still, Bert didn't give up. He walked back to Joey's side and gently explained what he wanted. Then he ran off again and blew the whistle. This time Joey seemed to get it. He turned and galloped toward Bert. In that moment, Bert was overwhelmed with joy. He realized this was a horse with true spirit. Its intelligence and talent were rare. From that day on, no matter where Bert blew the whistle from, Joey would always come running. Even if Bert was hiding in a tree, Joey could find him with ease thanks to his sharp senses. It wasn't just a result of training. It was the deep trust and bond between Bert and Joey. But Bert's father's nemesis Leon wasn't about to let this poor family off the hook. A few days later he came knocking, demanding the old man pay the full rent immediately. Even though the family had given up everything they had, they could only scrape together 15 guineas, far short of what they owed. Too proud to admit defeat, the father made a promise. He would use Joey to cultivate a patch of barren land and give all future harvests to Leon. But Leon thought that was an impossible task.